Audible to you now, guys? All right. Thank you. So let's get started. In today's session, we will start creating how to create our Fury application, which is a Fury-like app. So what I've done to create the Fury-like app, I have created a My Fury-like app folder. As part of my Fury-like app folder, I have a web app directory which is created. And inside that, as usual, we have got our index.html file. As we remember from the last session, that my Fury like app or a Fury like app is called app Fury like app because it has a component.js file. If an application doesn't have component.js file, it is not called Fury like app. So we have got first a new folder called my Fury like app, as usual created a web app directory and then an index.html file inside. We will also bring here the new app.json. As we saw in last class, the new app.json is an important file which is required to create a bridge between your web IDE and your external resources. So let's add new app.json and I will add here the complete new app.json content. Very simple. And we saw that we are going to kill the dependency from index.html permanently. So I'm killing here the creation of my view object. You remember that index.html creates the view object. This view object creation is something an application code. I want to get rid of it completely. Yeah, I want to get rid of it completely. This is the reason I am just deleting this permanently. This piece of code, I'm deleting it permanently. All right. This piece of code I'm deleting permanently because we're killing the dependency on index.html. Your index.html should never, ever, 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 never, ever should have any code which is application code. Okay, delete that, save it. You can give some namespace and I can say oft.fiori.app. Yeah, something of that sort you can give based on your company name, team name accordingly. So I've given as oft fiori app. That's my namespace I've given. So we have started a new folder, simply created a web app directory indexation, nothing exceptional till now. This is all what you know, what you have learned by far, nothing exceptional. Just created index HTML, a script tag, and a body with the content and a new app JSON. When you run this, you will not get anything out. Reason is simple. We have not done anything right now in this. Now, the first starting point, launching point is going to be component.js. As I mentioned in the last class, component.js is the only file which is part of web app folder. Only one component.js is allowed in the root directory of app. The file name has to be component.js itself. Let's create that. Create a new file and name it as component.js. Guys, very important, the name has to be this. You cannot put Spider-Man here. Not allowed. Not allowed, guys. Not allowed. This will break your application. If you think this is the component.js, incorrect. This will break your application permanently. Component.js. Yeah, component.js. Now every JavaScript file starts with what? 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 Scaffolding template. Perfect. SAP UI define. Very nice answer. SAP UI define bracket function and like this. So that's about our SAP UI define. So SAP UI define and then we had put bracket all the dependencies in a function. That's how also component.js starts with. Technically speaking component.js is a reusable library. It's a reusable JS file of SAP UI core UI component. If you go back, you can see yesterday's class I've told you It's actually a inheritance created from SAP UI core UI component class. Okay, so that's what we will do. Let's add that as a dependency. SAP UI core slash UI component. That's my dependency, and I say here UI component. And now we will say return UI comp dot extend, comma, and now here you are going to put the name which is nothing but your namespace. We have put oft.fury app. That's a namespace. That's the address where component.js is placed. This is the address where your component.js is placed. Okay, that's the address we had put it. And now we are going to just put here curly braces, and inside this we have to put three important sections. In fact, four important sections comes as part of component.js. First is called metadata. Second is called on init function. Third is called create content. Fourth is called on destroy, on exit. So these are all the four most important components as part of any component.js file. Is that syntax clear to everybody? Is the syntax clear to everybody? How to create component.js? Everyone. Is that clear to everybody? Metadata, init function. Oops, I think it's init function, not on init function. I actually recalled WebDin Pro. In WebDin Pro, we used to have on init function by mistake, because I work with so many technologies. It's kind of happening here happens. It gets mixed up. So it's init function, and then we have this is destroy function. These are two functions. So this is what the syntax. There is nothing to explain here. This is the syntax of component.js. There is nothing to explain. It is the syntax of component.js file. It is the syntax of component.js file. A component.js file inherits from standard SAP UI5 class, SAP UI core UI component. It inherits from there. You remember which keyword do you use in SAP UI5 for inheritance? Which component do you use in SAP UI5? Extend keyword we use, right? For inheritance, correct? So that's what we're doing, UI component dot extend. We are now giving the name where the name is. That's the name we have given now. And then next level, what we did, we have put four important components of a component.js. These are all the four components of component.js. Are you guys clear? Four components of component.js. Are you clear? What are all the four components of component.js? Metadata, init, create, content, and destroy. These are all the four components of the component.js. So metadata contains all the properties, dependencies, models, views, theme, devices, version, libs, etc, etc. Everything will be part of metadata. So there is nothing of UI component. You remember the scaffolding template? If you're joining the class for the first time, please go back and look at my video of creating JS file, Rajkishore. Sorry, Tanzim. So please go and look back the video of scaffolding template. You forgot the scaffolding template. Scaffolding template, we put the dependency, okay, and this dependency is passed as an object over here. So this is a standard dependency which we had put. How will that dependency you will access inside the function? That you will put a function parameter over here by default. Yeah, that you will put here by default, this one parameter, and it will pass over here, and then you are just creating an inheritance from there and creating a component.js. And there are four sections in the component.js, guys. Here there are four sections over here in component.js. All right, so this is what is
Yeah.
happening here.
Hi, Anwar, Srikanth here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry to disturb. The thing is that what you are explaining and what are over here.
I think there's